What's going on, guys? It's Adam P and welcome back to my third upload today about Newcastle United. It's been one of those days where there's just been so much going on. I wanted to come out with yet another video getting through the Newcastle United news, of course clarifying on a few things and just getting to the bottom of everything, because it's just been one of those days now. Bit of negativity as well. We've got Newcastle fans even now. Bear in mind, we're not even close to selling Isak yet. We haven't even got to an agreed fee. There's not even been a second bid from Liverpool and Newcastle. It is entirely possible we still keep the player this summer. And already we've got Newcastle fans on social media burning Alexander Isak tops. Oh no. Listen, we've always mocked Liverpool when they did this for Gerrard. We mocked them when they did it for Liverpool. Why are we doing it? There's always one amongst the fan base. There's always one at every football club that's going to go and burn the Isak shirt. So I still reckon it's entirely possible we keep Alexander Isak this summer. It honestly is one that's going to go either way. And I know that's an obvious point to make. But seriously, Newcastle still has a high chance of keeping Isak. And it's still a chance every day that passes. It is more likely that Isak will stay at Newcastle despite everything you see in social media and everything you hear on social media, because without those replacements and without the suitable price from Liverpool, Newcastle will not sell it regardless of what is going on with the player himself. Of course, for you guys, if you're new around here, make sure I get down there, hit that subscribe button so you stay updated and any upcoming Newcastle United news. Appreciate your support as always. There will be a lot happening for the rest of this transfer window and, of course, match day against Aston Villa on Saturday. So make sure hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And just to briefly recap, because we've already made a couple of videos today, so there was clarification before from Craig Court regarding an article from Martin Hardy that stated that Alexander Isak has left his home in Newcastle. Craig Court has claimed on his YouTube channel that he is moving to a different part of Newcastle regardless of the transfer activity this summer. His house was burgled into twice last season and he also had it on a 12-month gap, if I understood the video properly. So Isak, regardless of what is going on this summer, was going to move house in Newcastle anyway. To be honest, I still think it's far too coincidental with the time to really be able to 100% say that is, of course, what is happening, because again, with an active transfer and a player who we know wants to leave Newcastle, you still got to have it transfer related this way. You still got to understand that it is going to be transfer related, even though it may have been a scheduled exit. Starting off with the Liverpool fans, I know there's going to be a lot of Liverpool fans watching this video now, and as I say in several videos, I am always fair with Liverpool, and I know this is not the majority of Liverpool's fan base, but I'm not happy with the Liverpool fans on social media. Do not defend Isak and do not say that Isak is allowed to be doing this. No, he is not. He's a contracted Newcastle United player who signed a 6-year contract at Real Sociedad with no release clause. That was the choice he chose to make at the time. He is not allowed to force his way out of Newcastle United. He is allowed to want to leave Newcastle United, and he is allowed to put a transfer request in, which he still has not done, by the way, because he will not get his loyalty bonuses join a different football club. So even now, in a situation with a player wanting to leave, he won't even put the transfer request in because he loses out on money. If he was to move to Liverpool, and I would still argue on the flip side, in defence of Newcastle United, you have to say there's still a possibility he comes back. I still reckon there is, despite everything you hear and despite everything you see. If Newcastle United does not get those replacements, you know after the transfer window close, Isak, contract, price increase and a release clause, he gets exactly what he wants in the contract, even though he doesn't deserve it. And that's the art of football, because this guy has been misbehaving and doing everything against Newcastle, and yet even though he won't get his dream move to Liverpool potentially, but he will get what he wants in terms of wages, and he will get what he wants in terms of leaving the football club next summer. And it's just truly ridiculous how things work. But especially Liverpool fans, you keep saying I'm a hypocrite. I am not a hypocrite. I have criticised Wissa. I've criticised players in the past who, of course, are forcing moves out elsewhere. But do not defend Isak. The Wissa stuff does not give you an excuse to go, well, Isak's allowed to do this. No, he's not. Stop being biased. Look at the situation. Even if it goes well for you guys and you get Isak in, that is your problem to deal with. So don't come crying back to me in 2 or 3 years' time when Isak himself goes, well, you know what? I want to move to Real Madrid now during this season. It's not acceptable. The behaviour is not acceptable. Stop defending Alexander Isak. Stop being biased, because for any football club out there, this behaviour is disgusting and it's not acceptable at all. And speaking of Liverpool, it does look like they're going to secure the signing of Mark Gay, and I'm going to show Ben Jacobs' article here because this guy has to be the biggest Liverpool mouthpiece I've ever seen. He says, well, Liverpool are respecting Crystal Palace to go in for Mark Gay, and that's not the focus I wanted to have in this video here. But even in the comment section, Liverpool fans, of course, bringing up Newcastle. Ben Jacob replies saying, Liverpool approached Newcastle first. They've got a great relationship with the player. They've been very respectful. They've been very respectful, Newcastle. Stop with this rubbish. Again from Ben Jacobs was to respect Newcastle. There's no such thing in football. Every single football team wants to bring players in. They will do that by any means necessary. They are not respecting Newcastle. That £110 million bid last week was not respecting Newcastle. We said £150 million, not £110 million. £40 million under the price tag is not respecting the football club. Liverpool, according to reports the past couple of weeks, have said they're not going to approach Newcastle unless encouraged. Well, where did that bid come from? Because that certainly wasn't what they were saying. So again, has went completely against the reports, and certainly a bid that we knew was going to be rejected. No respect at all in that bid. And that's not a thing towards Liverpool, because every football club does this. We'll do it to our teams. You guys will do it to different football clubs. But this respect thing that Ben Jacobs continues to bring up, it doesn't exist. There is no respect at all between football clubs when it comes to signing players. Stop being this absolute mouthpiece for Liverpool, because this is a pile of rubbish. I'm sick of saying it every day. No, Liverpool are not respecting Newcastle. Stop with it. Now, Alan Shearer has addressed the Alexander Isak situation again. I want to talk about it because he claims in recent years we've seen Enzo Fernandez, Declan Rice and Jack Grealish go for around £100 million or so. If that is the bar, they are never ever going to get Isak, a 25-year-old striker who scored 44 goals across the past 2 seasons, for £110 million. I don't think you would get Dan Burn for that, to be honest. Newcastle have named their price, which is near to £150 million, so we have to see what Liverpool will do next. That is our club legend speaking, and you have to be correct when you look at the finances, because, well, look at options. Of course, Jack Grealish was around 4 years ago, Declan Rice was a couple of years back, Enzo Fernandez a few years back. Even Liverpool this summer have already spent more than £110 million bringing Wirtz in. So when you look at the options out there, Isak is worth a lot more than £110 million. Again, look at the first bid, and Liverpool fans continue to say, Adam, it's a record-breaking transfer bid. That was a good offer. No, it is not. How many times have I got to say £150 million, not £110 million, so you can continue to lowball us all you want. Newcastle is not going to give in, and they will continue to stay firm, just as we have done already during the summer. Liverpool, again, their point of view, they don't need to put 150 down because their squad's already good and they can just invest in all areas. So that's why both teams are just firm like this. They just won't back off. Neither team's going to do it. It'll be like this for the rest of the window. And I reckon it's likely Isak will stay, and I reckon it's likely Isak will go. And I know that's the obvious answer I give. It's going to go either way. Everyone knows that. But I honestly think it's tight. It will go either way. It's that simple. It is too hard to call. I still think it's incredibly likely that Isak does stay at Newcastle, even though reports now indicate there's no way back. I still disagree with that, because he wouldn't be at the training ground and Eddie Howe would not still be there with the guy every single day. I reckon there still is a way for Alexander Isak. Howe has clearly left the door open for him, and the fact that he's even cooperating, the fact he's even at Newcastle now indicates at least the player is willing to be there while he is being paid from Newcastle. But again, if we don't get the replacements in, he's not going, and it's just as simple as that. And finally, looking at opposition fans from today, I'm looking from the overall recap from the DSL. Opposition fans are catching on now. It's no longer a Newcastle and Liverpool thing. We think it's disgusting. Liverpool fans don't think it's disgusting. Opposition fans now fully understand the situation and now don't like Isak. And that's very damaging for his reputation. Yes, he can go on, move on somewhere else and continue to score goals. But football fans aren't going to forget this. Football fans will never forget this. And the way Isak and his agent have conducted throughout the summer has been brutal. And it has been brutal to everyone. No one is blind. Everyone can see what's going on. Everyone can see that the player should not be behaving in the way that he is. And yet he's doing that in his best interest to try and screw Newcastle United over. Bearing in mind, we were the club that nurtured him. We were the club that brought him on. We took the gamble and we took the punt when no one else did. And this is how his agent and player will treat us. And this agent, by the way, just to properly expose this agent now. So this footballing agent is already banned from 2 different clubs across the world. And he's part of the agency, by the way, because I know there's a few different names for Isak's agent, but they're all part of the same agency. Agent himself, not the most legal person out there, shall we say. He's certainly had a lot of dirt written on him over the years. Banned from Ajax and PSV while also leaking Brian Richards' payments over the years, which is, of course, illegal. And when you look at everything going on, not been great, this agent side of it, and the agent's been a big major factor for why Isak's been behaving the way he has, and he's been heavily ill-advised by the agent, and a lot of people are seeing through this now. And I'd love to see Isak come crawling back after this window's over, because that, in our point of view, would be the most satisfying thing ever, just watching Isak squirm his way back into Newcastle, because they've blown it this summer. They've went for it. They have thrown everything they've got at getting this Liverpool move, but they've done it the wrong way. They went about it the wrong way. And these individuals, I think, will get humbled. I really feel like it's going to come crashing down on them. And everything they've thrown at Liverpool is just not going to work out for them this summer. They have properly effed it up, and I can't make it any clearer. And you can't blame anyone else but them. I continue to say it in these videos, and there'll be, God knows how many more videos talking about it before this saga is over in the summer. But these two should hang their heads in shame. They really should, because they've done so much damage to Newcastle United, all for their selfish greed of wanting to go to Liverpool. They could have done it the fair way. They could have done it the legit way, but they've continued to go against this football club, and we aren't going to stand for it. I'd love to see what happens next. You guys let me know your opinions down below. Does he stay or does he go? Let me know. Take care, and we will see you all in the next one.